Well, we're going to watch some American Werewolf in London. Just joking. All right, so they get to a pub called the Slaughtered Lamb, and there's characters in it just like that. And then some guy tells a joke about Texas and remembering the Alamo. Everyone just laughs. Then one of the guys, who's these kind of like college kids type that are traveling, asks, "What's that star on the wall?" He's talking about a pentagram, which is basically just a nativity symbol. Is all a star is. Pentagram is a nativity symbol. Now, when it's upside down, it's different, but it's right side up. Everyone gets quiet. Guy misses the dartboard. Then they get kicked out of the slaughtered lamb. All right, so for the second meal, or for the main meal, I guess, it's called Everything Avocado. And it's basically iceberg and green leaf blend, hard-boiled egg, okay, Jack Colby cheese blend, and carrots and everything seasoning with avocado ranch dressing. Oh, okay, I thought they had avocados. Okay, so there's no avocados in it, it's just a ranch dressing. Okay, for some reason I thought there was a lot of avocados in it. Well, I bought an add-on thing to it. This is what this part looks like right here. So with these, like I usually say, you kind of have to balance these out like that so they don't fall out. They're very easy for it to fall out. This is why it's called Everything Avocado. It's got an avocado dressing, which we're going to add the Thai seasoning. And then also this right here is Thai seasoning too that will go on top of it. Not a lot of salad. You know what? I think I'm gonna add some. You don't really get a lot of salad, so. When I was born with pneumonia. My great grandmother, Nanny Wawa, known as Margaret Mitchell, fed me spinach, and it kept me alive. I was able to make these videos because of Nanny Wawa, also known as Margaret Mitchell, which I have a secret theory is the actual Margaret Mitchell that wrote Gone with the Wind, and she ran off to Haltom, Texas, and faked her death. I believe it was like the Kentucky area, so I always get it mixed up where she was. She was obsessed with Apaches. So Margaret Mitchell was obsessed with Apaches, the Apache Native Americans. So she did this public dance in the Apaches and some women's lib thing or whatever for something in her town. Well, anyway, her daughter, which I call Ann Mitchell, known as Ann Looney, married an Apache. True story. She was buried in East Texas. Most likely, the real Margaret Mitchell. Well, on her grave, it says Margaret Mitchell. But I don't know about her middle name. She may have changed her middle name so people wouldn't be able to find her. It's just a theory that I have of mine. Is this 2 eggs or 1? Oh, it's 2 eggs. Well, no, it's 1 egg cut in half, I say. Right. And we do this with this one, which I've told you this before. I don't really ever prepare for I don't stage things at all on my show. How it goes is how it goes. Thai chili. The Thai chili actually sticks, so it's very... There she goes. I know Kitty's gonna want some. Did you want some, Kitty? There we go. We'll scrape out the rest for Kitty. We got this right here. Cut about right here. There we go. That's the avocado dressing. Very scrumptious. Now for the seasoning. seasoning. And we have some of our salad. And we feed Kitty. This is only 90 calories per package. And I'm assuming if they show the calorie count on this, with the dressing, 280, so I always add a little bit to it. So it's like 300, 390, maybe about 400 calories. I add little sauces and stuff, like I'll add a little bit of mayo and things like that. Add a little bit of this mayo in there right here. These are really, you can get them at any QT. I don't buy Miracle Whip anymore, I just go by QT and get them. They always stack them up, put them on hot dogs or sandwiches that you buy at QT. And there we go. I taste a little bit of it because I'm gonna go back and watch American Werewolf. In London. Bold taste. I know, Kitty, you're gonna get some. Bold. Very good. Okay, some red wine vinegar. And now we feed Kitty. Did you want to watch American Werewolf in London with me, Kitty? There you go. There you go. Oh, I want to have you watch. Here, what? Watch Kitty do the werewolf. This is so funny. Watch this. Hey, Kitty, show everybody how you can do the werewolf. Here he goes. See, he does the werewolf. Sorry about that, Kitty. In every werewolf movie, the moon is a very important part of the film. It's kind of a character. But I wanted to watch the difference between, or the dissolve, or what they call the mix or the cut, when you get to the two characters walking under the moonlight. I just wanted to show this to you. Watch this. Look at that, isn't that amazing? Look at all the light they used right there in the field. I'm gonna remember that when I'm doing Grace, because part of it's set in Marfa, Texas. Grace is. Look at the light, all this, and how the fog is in there. I call for fog and snow and things like that, because it gets very cold in the Panhandle in Texas. And Marfa is extreme weather area of Texas, especially in the wintertime. Is that not cool? Well, the bar is kind of a character in American Werewolf in London. So he returns back to investigate the lunatic who was the original werewolf. So I just wanted to make note of that. They go back to the bar again. So the bar is like a reoccurring character in American Werewolf in London. Get back to that in a minute. I gotta grab something. One thing I want to say about, really roughing it, being a writer, also an actor, is you want to get some tea. And this is actually free. They don't charge for it. There's no barcode on it. So I get a lot of these mint teas. There's no charge at all. But I think it's probably in my ancestry, because my grandfather on my mom's side, last name was Looney. And his father and grandfather were in the spice trade. They were Apache Indian. And they used tea to make money in England. And he was actually from England, my mom's side. I'm very, very much English. But he was an Apache Indian. My father's side, which is Spivey, is also English too. Oh, tea time. What falls away comes right back. Throw that one in there. Go for another. You can smell the mint from here. It's got the little 7-Eleven tag on it. You open this puppy up. Now, the other day I gotta be really careful with this hot water business. There we go. Get rid of that for just a minute. Now I am going to do something here. For 1 second. it'll bust the tea. So what you want to make sure you do is don't pour it in there boiling hot. So we're going to do something different. Thinking. Yes. There we go. I know you're just sitting there wondering if some kind of cinematic masterpiece. The answer is yes, it is. We're going to try something different. Hot water here first. Okay. Now. La 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 la. Now we're going to go back here and reheat so that we don't burn it. We'll try again. This time we'll try it without it breaking. You only want to tear the end off of it like that, and then throw it in there. There we go. Let it seep that way. You bust the bag, then you have C particles all over. And that's not the right English. I know there's English majors. So, if that bust, you have T particles all over the place. Because I know the English majors are listening. So, you have to be careful so it doesn't bust the tea leaves. See how it kind of seeped out right there? I'll try another one. There we go. I'm making a batch of tea. It's a little difficult to do. You just kind of want a little seep it right here. Just like that. That way it doesn't bust. Now, I did have a device that could hold tea. But there's different ones that can do that. And you can use that and put the tea bag in the device that way. Okay, we're gonna let that seep at the bottom that way. Let that reheat, which is not doing now. There we go. See, life is all about memory. But what's more important than memory is physicalization. If you were a person that had no memory, you could still get by. The movie Memento, Christopher Nolan, Guy Pearce shows that kind of way. You don't have to have memory, but memory is very, very important. It's almost everything. But physicalization is more important than memory. True story. Because if you don't have any physicalization, then you're basically dead. You can't remember without physicalization. So we're going to let this steep and let that warm, and then we'll reheat it and add it to this. Okay? Use your imagination. All right, so it's working out quite nicely. Moving this over, and I'm adding the hot water slowly to this so it doesn't bust the tea bags. Then I'll add it to this. There it goes. All right, so that's good enough there. You don't want it too hot because it'll bust the tea bags. So you want to pour it on the outside. I wouldn't recommend pouring it in here because this doesn't have enough circumference. So when the heat goes in, it goes directly on top of the tea bag. Okay, so in this whole process, I'm only using 2 tea bags. Now I actually went through 4. Well, actually I went through, this is 2. So I lost 2 because the hot water went in this and it broke the tea bags and spilled all the tea everywhere. So if you have a tea holder, or what you call a tea grasper, or it's kind of like a filter for tea. You can use that. I used to have one, but it broke a while back. Let's see if I can find something similar. I don't think I have anything similar. Yeah, I don't have anything like that, but basically what it is it holds tea, and you can just take the tea bag and you can cut it open and put it into this thing that holds tea, and it'll filter it through, and you won't get a single tea bag in your stuff. What I'm going to transfer this to is I'm going to transfer this into this, so I can make a full thing of tea here. So what we're going to do is first, we're going to do the hot water. Don't pour the hot water over the tea bag, is basically the thing. Let's see if it's, yep, you can see that it's steaming out. So it's a little hot right there. So you can probably use what I'm using, so that will work fine. All right, so we got the tea made. So there is the tea. And I use this one to pour into that. Okay. So don't pour the hot water over the tea bag, it'll break it. Now you can see there's not a single tea leaf in there right now. And we're gonna let that brew right over here. So I'm kind of regurgitating tea, as they say. And I do recommend this stuff to put in your tea. It's raw honey. It's very good. It's my favorite. All right. Since mint tea is my favorite, I always keep a couple tea bags in there for a little bit, but not for too long. This is actually cold tea. You can see the condensation right here. So I just put the remaining tea bags that I was using, and this thing, if you remember the tea bags being in there, I put it in here. So that way it has more of a mint tea taste. Inside here is lemon. So my next step is to pour a little bit of lemon in there. That way it has some lemon in there. Just kind of a hint of lemon taste. I'll leave the other ones so when I'm having a cup of tea, I will, add that lemon in there. Then I'm gonna fill the water up here so I'll have more tea. A little for the homies. There we go. There goes Kitty. What are we doing, Kitty? Kitty, what are we doing? Okay, just kind of checking in with Kitty. All right, so the next thing we do is put the tea in here. This is brewing, and that's, well, this is good to go, but what I do is I wait for it to reach closer to room temperature, and then I add it in here. So that the temperature change is not too quick going into the refrigerator. That way, the appliance does not have to work too hard. What's going on, Kitty? What's going on? You want to rub? You want to rub? You want to rubby dub? What you doing, Kitty? You sheeper. All right, so I'm not going to be able to finish the rest of American Werewolf in London because I'm having an American Werewolf in Texas problem. Looks like we're going to go pick up Linda. So we're headed to Dallas, and I'm listening to Elliott Smith's No Name song, whatever. I don't know the number of it. It doesn't say it, but it's one of the No Name songs, Elliott Smith. The one that goes dun 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 dun. Oh, that one. So No Name number one is, perfect. Because for one thing, it sounds a lot like the Smiths. Have you ever listened to it? It's like, you don't belong here. Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. Very much like the Johnny Marr and the Smiths. It's very much like that. If you listen to the Smiths, but he's Elliott Smith, which is different. See, the band The Smiths, they came from Manchester. Elliott Smith came from Omaha, Nebraska, lived in Texas most of his young life. And then at the age of about 14, or in that ballpark figure, he ended up going off to Seattle. And that's when he hung out with his dad, who was a psychiatrist. And he began to, bring his guitar more into his life because he had been playing guitar since he was a little tiny kid. He also played clarinet. He played the piano. This guy's a nut. He played many instruments. I think it's going to have me go through the bog of smell. See, Dallas, you got to know Dallas, but this is 30 right here. That's 30. So I guess it's the fastest path, but there's a thing where you drive over this bog that smells like sulfur. I don't know. And I was thinking about American Werewolf in London. It's actually quite a genius piece. The reason I like it is because they play all this music in it, you know. I think Van Morrison or something of that nature is played in it. There's also, I want to say it sounds like Van Morrison, but I have to go back and it also sounds like There's a Bad Moon on the Rise. That one plays as well when he's at the nurse's house. But it's the idea behind it is that it's kind of funny because his friend who was attacked by the werewolf comes back to visit him several times, and I'm wondering if maybe I could do the same with St. Patty the Great. You know, like he comes back to talk to him about the curse. It brings the fact that there's definitely a definite curse, and the dead can talk, that kind of thing, and the dead talks to the cursed. The only thing is that man and woman is supposed to be treated the same. So we know that Rennie Love is the werewolf, but yet because of their holy matrimony, because of their holy matrimony, he can still see the visions of the curse, even though he doesn't have it. Do you see what I'm saying? It's very much about yoke. If you understand anything about Christianity and the yoke, you know, being balanced or trying to be balanced. So grace is a little bit about that, you know. It brings in that nature of the yoke, if you know what a yoke is. In the Christianity, in the Bible, it talks about the New Testament, a yoke. That has to eventually balance. And what is that? Is it a spiritual yoke or is it a physical yoke of the flesh? And the fight of the werewolf has to do with the flesh. You know, it deals with the flesh and the changing and the shape changing and things like that. Anyway, just wanted to talk about that for Grace, my werewolf movie. Channel 11 tower. It's one of the towers they broadcast from. They probably don't really need that tower anymore because of all the Wi-Fi and internet. But it's old school, but it's still there.